Hey everyone, John Henry here, slingshotfutures.com. Today we're going to be talking about washouts. Now, a washout, what is a washout? You probably hear it all the time, oh, this is a washout move, or this is a wash, or something, we hear it quite frequently, but I find a lot of people aren't quite sure what it actually is. Now, of course, this is my definition of a washout. Other people could have a lot of other variations. But a washout to me is a strong counter move against an already pre-existing strong trend. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it would be something like this, where you have a market that's just going up and up and up and up and up and up and up, maybe some pullbacks inside of there, and then out of nowhere, there's this big old bear bar that comes up, right? That's a washout. Or you could consider this a dead cat as well, because dead cat bounces usually occur right here. Even dead cats bounce, is the old adage, as brutal as that is. And that's kind of the idea. A lot of buyers will be looking for these as opportunities to buy in at a better price that will likely be short-lived. Now, you want a pre-existing strong trend, right? That's one of the first rules of that type of move, because we need an existing trend to add to the flood of volume. We need people to be really eyeballing and saying, man, I haven't really been given a chance to get in. No chance to get in. No pullbacks. No chance to get in. Boom, there we go, right? Finally, get me into that one. And that's when everybody starts flooding into buy or sell on the downside. So a good example on Apple, actually, just from November 5th, yesterday. We had a very strong trend to the downside. Kicked off the day with a massive sell-off, quick little pop back to the VWAP, and then a drive back down and continuation to the downside. So we have a very strong move to the downside, and that's what we need. Prerequisite number one, check mark, right? We need that strong trend. And we're looking for a counter move that is against that is relatively strong, right? A quick spike up that we're assuming is going to continue back down again. And that happened right here. I don't think we really need to even point it out, but it was pretty obvious. We have a beautiful trend working its way down, then out of nowhere, bam, right? This candle shows up, and it's closing above the past two candles. It's closing into the third candle back. I mean, that's a pretty big pop. And sellers are going to be looking at this thinking, hot diggity, right? I've been waiting for this stupid thing to pop forever. Get me into this. And the anticipation is that it will return back to the lows and potentially even double itself down with a deviation move, right? So the original candle is this size. The anticipation then would be that it goes down for a deviation lower, and you can see the wick forming there. That's because people are taking profit. In this case, it actually went 2 deviations lower and found a low there. So washouts can be an extremely strong play if you have a good enough trend. Now, that's the caveat, is a good enough trend. We need a trend that is actually strong enough to get a washout to work, right? And generally speaking, when I'm looking at a washout play, I mean, you could look at this and say, well, hey, look at that candle, that's pretty strong. True, but that wasn't the first candle in the move, and it's only closing above one candle, right? I want to see it close above the past 2 or 3 candles. Show me that there's some strength here. This is a good example. We have a monstrous move to the downside. We have 4 back-to-back-to-back bear bars lower, and then this big old bull bar pops up, closes above the high of the previous candle, and it's in an area of resistance, right? That's the type of play that I'm looking for to swap the market back down again. And this one, although did give you some trouble, ended up working out for a nice move back to the low closes and found some support. Let's see if we can find some other examples here to take a look at for some washout plays, and you kind of get a better idea of what we're referring to. All right, just came back looking around for a second here, and that's about all it took, was about a second on Alibaba today. This actually happened today. You have a very strong breakaway move, right? Right from the open, boom, 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 boom. Even the bear bars are bullish, right? They're not even breaking below previous candles' lows. They're closing well into themselves. We have a very strong move up. And then out of nowhere, this giant bear bar shows up that overtakes, guess what? Closing below the previous candle's low, 2 of them, and into the third candle, right? That is a washout. Buyers who are looking to get in along with this play will be looking to jump in and buy that for an assumed move back up to at least the high closes, if not the highs, and again, potentially a double deviation up. There's a lot of potential on those types of plays, but you have to be selective. If you don't get selective on this type of movement, you're going to see them all over the place. Oh man, that's a washout, and then you start taking everything. You're not really taking washouts, you're just throwing darts at a board. So make sure to be selective. Wait for that strong trend, right? Let the trend come in, show you that it's there. Wait for the washout, which by the way, may not happen. But if it does, that is a potential tool that you can utilize to find some trading opportunities back in the market to go with the overall directional trend. And that's why you need that strong trend. and that's a washout. So hopefully you learned something, hopefully you found it useful. If you already knew what a washout was, then hey, welcome to the video. Hope you enjoyed me talking about something you know. If you didn't know what a washout was, I hope it's something you can add to your tool belt. Underneath the video, make sure to like the video, show us that you enjoy the content. Of course, click on subscribe so you're notified when the videos come out. To make sure that you're notified, because the algorithms for YouTube are a little bit weird, click on the notification bell icon. That way you get an email every time one comes out so you don't miss anything important. That's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a fantastic trading day today, or had a fantastic trading day, depending on when you're watching this. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.